Hi, I'm Melissa with Varsity Tutors, and today we're going to talk about how to examine ACT Science passages. The ACT Science section contains 40 multiple choice questions based on given passages, which refer to figures, charts, graphs, and equations. Despite the section title, the ACT Science section emphasizes critical thinking and analytical skills rather than the ability to recall scientific content. Nevertheless, basic knowledge in science is required to be successful on this section of the ACT. There are three different types of science passages: data representation, research summaries, and conflicting viewpoints. The science section contains 6 or 7 total passages. The first step to successfully approach each passage is to determine which type of passage it is. Data representation passages contain graphs and tables. When you get to this type of passage, look for phrases like Graph 1 or Table 2. These labels will give you a clue that the passage is a data representation passage. On these passages, you'll need to be able to examine information in these graphs and tables to answer the questions. When you are analyzing the graphs and tables, try to determine the independent and dependent variables and how they relate to one another. For example, as one increases, does the other decrease, or vice versa? Research summary passages are the second type of passage you will encounter during the science section of the ACT. These passages will describe one or more scientific experiments. Look for labels like Experiment 1 or Trial 2 to help you identify this passage type. Questions will focus on experimental design and interpretation of experimental results. To be successful on this section, identify what is being observed, determine how the variables relate, and note how each experiment differs. Evaluating conflicting viewpoints will be the third and final passage type you will be asked to analyze during this section. You'll know this passage type when you come to it because it will have a lot more text than the other two types of passages. This passage will include 2 or more theories that are inconsistent with each other. The passage contains up to 4 parts, with headings like Scientist 1 or Theory 2. The questions for this passage will ask you to compare and contrast different theories. In review, your first task when you get to the science section on the ACT is to identify whether you are dealing with a data representation, a research summary, or a conflicting viewpoint passage. Once you have done this, you can manage your time and technique accordingly. Thank you for watching and learning more about the ACT Science section.